Let's see. Hey, it's hard to hear you. I don't know why. Oh, it says you're muted.
Testing. Now we can mute. Now we're not going to mute. We're live.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Folks, we are, I am so thrilled that I get to introduce you to my friend, and I get to introduce my friend to all my friends. And on Give and Take Care, I think I just feel like we are friends. And generationally, I feel like I'm introducing even a daughter. So, yeah, nurse coaching, transformational wellness coaching. Alex and I met last year about this time, pursuing our own certification in wellness coaching as nurses. And so we are excited to talk to you about that tonight. Alexandra Radford is from Texas, and without any further ado, I'm going to get you up here with me, Alex.
Yay. Hey. Cool. This is my first time doing this, so this is fun.
Yeah. So, it's the nurse coach in me, and you've coached me and I've coached you, which has been really fun. I'm really grateful for the way God has brought us together, Alex. But tell everyone who you are and what you do and what you're about.
Yeah, I can. And then if you have any gaps, you know a lot too, so you can share. But yeah, I am Alexandra. A lot of people know me by Alex, and I'm originally from California, moved to Texas about 5 years ago after I went on Mercy Ships, which is a faith-based hospital ship that goes to the west coast of Africa, and we will probably talk about it a little bit more later, and ended up in East Texas, which I had never thought about or dreamed about coming to, but I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is where my purpose is, so I've stayed persistent with staying here. I have 2 dogs and a cat, and my family's in California. I have done different nursing roles, kind of trying to figure out where I am a good fit for. So from medical surgical nursing to postpartum, some assistance with labor and delivery. I was not a labor delivery nurse, and nursery nurse. And then now I get to visit people in their homes, moms and babies, and build relationship with them. And it's just really special, and I love it.
Wow. Yeah, what a background already, early in your career as a nurse. You're such a baby.
Yeah.
And you've done so much in such a short period of time. Tell me a little bit about the Mercy Ship and what drove you to pursue that.
Yeah, it's so cool. My aunt actually told me about it. She saw it on the TV on cable at some point. She was like, we have those people that speak encouragement into our life and life into our life. And she was one of those people for me. And she was like, you have to do this. And so I kind of tucked it back in my mind because I wasn't an official nurse yet. And you had to have, and still have to have, like 2 years of experience. And just felt on my heart, like after, I think it was 1.5 years of experience as a nurse, I was like, there's something, which is so cool. There's like something tugging on my heart. And I was like, I'm not, I'm scared of something and I'm not listening to it. So I took the time to pray about that. And it was revealed that it was Mercy Ship. So anyway, I felt called to kind of go, even though I had fear, to go anyways. And it is two hospital ships that go to the poorest countries on the west coast of Africa, and they have volunteers from all over the world, all positions. They need cooks, they need housekeeping, they need human resources, construction, engineers. It's really cool. And then nurses. So I was there to help patients before and after their surgeries on the ship for 10 months. It was so fun, and I loved it.
What did you learn?
Oh, goodness. You learn
about Alex. Yeah.
You learn a lot because you're around people frequently. So I learned that I had some work to do with like relationships because I was just thinking a lot about things that I got in the way of me wanting to serve the patients and be focused on that. So that was revealed to me. What else did I learn? I just loved it. Like I loved that the paperwork was less and the documentation was less, but the whole purpose was just to care for the patients. And like for me, it was to show them that they're loved because a lot of the times they have health conditions that are visible and they're outcast from their community because it's, different things are thought of with that. But in their community, typically they might not be welcome back when they have something like that. So I just wanted to go and like make sure that they felt loved, specifically the women who had fistulas. So that can be a complication after birth, and especially when there's not a hospital close by, or maybe someone doesn't have the finances, or maybe there's preconceptions about what will happen at the hospital. Women will just have long-term complications after that without being able to fix it, and that outcasts them from their community. So I just wanted them to know they're loved. I wanted to smile at them the same way I smile at anyone else. I wanted to give them a hug the same way. And I felt like that was kind of my purpose for being there. So I loved that we had the time to build that relationship with them.
Wow. You know what I hear in that so much too is just that, I mean, it's the whole person, that we all are. And to be well is to be wholly well, like our whole person well, mind, body, and spirit. So, yeah, I'm sure if we had, we're starting to have biometrics to measure things like that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, Terry, can you see comments? Should I like sign on in case someone's saying something?
Oh, you know what? You can sign on and just kind of look at your phone. Yeah. Yeah.
Just to make sure nothing.
See, this is give and take because I'm the first thing I thought was, no, I can do one thing at a time.
Right? Oh,
but I forget that you all can do 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh, they said hello. Good evening. Good evening. Fun. Well, I'll try to check in with it.
Love it.
Katie and Ty or TY are here.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I see Katie Grow and hey, Twana. I feel so hip.
You are hip, Terry.
You're teaching me live.
I'm learning right along with you. This is cool.
But that's really, I mean, seriously, when I was introducing you, this is what I mean. We're demonstrating what I mean, Alex, that, just because I'm 60 and my children, I don't have it figured out any more than they do, or vice versa, right? We're still on this journey. We're different human souls and in relationship. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, we both have things to share with each other, and that's what I love.
Yeah. Nurse health coaching. Why would anybody need a nurse health coach? And what led you to the collective last year to be certified, Alex?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll try to answer it best I can, and you can fill in too. Yeah, nurse coaching is just amazing. There's so many coaches out there. So there's just, health coaches of all sorts. And we joined a program that only nurses could join at a certain degree. And I truly think like it's powerful no matter who you get health coaching or coaching from. It's a powerful space. It can be a powerful space. So I joined just wanting more time with my patients than I had in the hospital or in the clinics. And also seeing this gap from the doctor's office to their home and the health outcomes that they're facing. So, we only have a certain amount of time in the clinic. with how it's set up to work with them on their health concerns and give advice. And it's hard to make changes, I think. Have you experienced that, Terry?
My whole life.
Yeah.
Whatever the change, we all are at some point on the wellness spectrum, right? And at different points need more help or less help and can help each other. So, yeah.
And some changes are easier than others, I found in my life. So a nurse coach or a health coach, transformational wellness coach, can just come alongside the person, and instead of like being talked at, because traditionally that's how it is. There are other providers though that aren't always doing that, but it's like, okay, you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and I'll see you in a few months and we'll see how your progress is. Nurse coaching is more like knowing that, like, say you're the patient, Terry, it's like knowing you have the ability and the capability and the desire to be your best self. So how can I come with you and support you? And you get to make your goals and your desires come true. And really, coaching is different because I can't do it for you, and you get to make the changes if you want to change. And of course, there's barriers that come up, but that's what a coach is there for.
Right. And so different. I want to speak to that because I think I've changed because God led me to coaches and a coach. It's just really important to, always be learning, right? Keep our minds open. Mine's slower these days, but I want it to stay open. I think it's a good place to be, to think, I can change my mind about this and come back to center and decide what you value, and you want to show up for yourself. And that takes investing in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you going to say something?
Well, tell me what you were thinking.
No, I agree. I think these days, like, it's really easy to justify spending money on your kids or spending money, I don't know, buying a house, which is a great investment. They say it is. I'm still waiting to see that happen in my life.
It's a different generation. Yes.
Yeah. We'll spend money on so many things, like new clothes or, getting our hair done, things like that. If we can justify it, then we'll do it. Our health is harder to justify. So buying healthy food, buying the membership to the gym or somewhere where you have a sauna or a cold plunge, those things are a bit pricier. Or even, say you're wanting to do more holistic medicine. Some people do, some people don't. Sometimes insurance doesn't cover it. And it's really hard for people to see the outcome benefit of that. However, I think like the long-term cost benefit is exponential, because if we think of not caring for our bodies and whatever condition we might be diagnosed with now, long-term, the healthcare costs or the cost to our pockets, or even our presentness with our family and friends and ability to enjoy life, there's great impact. So it takes sometimes, some people have to see the benefit of that. And I think that's a challenge.
Yeah. Right. Holistic care and nurse coaching, have you seen change from it in your life, being coached?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been really cool. I think just getting to the root of things. So in coaching, we get to ask, why questions and dive into the deeper, what's behind it, what's our motivation, and you learn so much about yourself. And so when you do that, and when that comes from within, you're so much more, you want to make the changes, you're more motivated. So I think in my life, just having the safe space to just be heard and to have someone listen. Their purpose is like non-judgmental. It's a safe space. It's confidential. It's not going anywhere else. But then non-judgmentally help you with your next step is such a blessing, because often in our lives it's hard to know when to listen to other people or be able to listen well. And a coach's number one priority is to listen, and that's healing in itself. Yeah.
It really is. And we do kind of talk about that space as a container of space, and you get to make these agreements between the client and the coach. You kind of get to make up the rules for yourself about how you can support this goal that they have, that's theirs, that they're in charge of. Unlike traditional, I don't know, even counseling that is just kind of one-sided. Also, in the coaching container, we've discovered I would even share with you if you were the client and you with me on certain occasions. I would want to use my vulnerability and my story to help you, if it would, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of power in that, and like vulnerability, getting to know each other and learning from each other. And that's a cool part about coaching, is like it's a safe space for both people to be learning and growing. And that gives me more permission. Like I'm easily giving permission to others around me to be learning and to be trying new things and growing.
Yeah. Like how to get on StreamYard and do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had a practitioner recently that I was seeing, and she's right out of school, and I was like, I'm in a place right now where I've had the expert and I feel comfortable, and safe being in the new place, because I know from this experience how much, even when you're new, like it's so impactful, the change you can make in someone else's life. So because I've been extended that grace, I was like, I feel ready to allow her to be in a practicing state with me. And it was really cool. I loved it.
Yeah.
Really, we're always practicing too. Like, I think
what did you say?
We're always practicing. I think we put the pressure on ourselves to have it all figured out and to pretend like we know. Or I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, oh, I got to know everything. And
well, that's never going to happen. And so, yeah, that's what I was thinking of when you said that. No, I don't mean that you're never going to know anything. See, mouth, but yeah, you know what I mean, Alex.
Yeah, it's funny.
No, but it's that letting go of expert mode, and it's the give and take, intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and that exchange just can be really powerful partnership for making changes in your life. And why do people need to change? I think about my burnout. I think about my story and my gratefulness for pivoting, because I was, even 6 years ago, very burnt out.
Yeah.
And, it's all of life's circumstances. It's not just work. It never is just work. But look at the statistics of healthcare providers and their health. The worst, worldwide, and we're just sick.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of curious too. I'd love to talk about the illness and just healthcare profession in general, but was there like a greatest impact or biggest takeaway you've had from coaching that you would want to share?
Oh yeah, thanks, Alex. And it's, just saying just now, my own healthcare journey, opening up and listening to people tell me to pause, to rest. And, there were many crises which sometimes happen in life, like God is going, getting my attention, and we don't, and then there's the choke chain, and when you really get to an ill point, But boy, I'm grateful just that he led me to just powerful tools to pivot, change my mindset.
Mm.
And really, I had, you know, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I had anal cancer and then recovered midlife, switching roles, but God covered all of it and led me to these just amazing tools. And when I pivoted, what was a trajectory of, oh, I'm over 50, I'm never going to be any younger, and kind of the victim mentality about my health and wellness just shifted. And look, I get to live this next third of my life, or maybe just till tomorrow, but my mindset's completely different, and I just have joy I didn't before in my whole person. And coaching, really, once I got a mentor and a coach, sped me along that way in my pursuit of optimal wellness.
So cool. And were those your goals before you entered coaching, or did those come up when you were in the coaching container?
Well, I was healing. Yeah, I was on, it was just a year ago. And so it's been about 5 years since I started, since that metamorphosis, I guess, was happening. And I think we have seasons in life where that happens. And they're hard things, but boy, now I know to cold plunge. I have all kinds of tools.
Yeah. And what a blessing like you will be to your patients or clients. Do you call them clients? The people,
Clients.
your clients. What a blessing.
My friends.
And like that better. The blessing you'll be because you've gone through that and have done the hard stuff and come out the other side.
I think everybody has, there comes a point where you get tired of covering up that you're just as messed up as everybody else. We all are.
Yeah.
And so, the thing is, we can just still support each other. We're always going to be journeying here. And I just think it's easier to be pretty transparent about where I am and who I am. And that's very freeing.
Yeah, it is. It's easy to not have to keep up the facade of like, everything's fine, I'm fine, everything's great.
I have days like that when, I'm feeling something different than I'm expressing, but definitely it's the spirit of God, right?
Yeah. It makes it a safe space to just be yourself and to need help, like to acknowledge that we need help is a big thing.
I was just thinking of that today. My resistance to saying that I needed help.
Yeah.
But everybody needs help. All of us.
Yeah, or maybe it's like a season's going well. I used to think I was exempt from certain things in my life because I was like, oh, I'm doing things well, so I'm not going to struggle with, mental health issues or, this kind of physical issue. I was like, that's not going to affect me. And that's not how God works. And that's not, someone isn't struggling with something because they've, deserve it or they've done something wrong necessarily. It just can affect everybody at different times. And yeah, I believe we all need help at certain points, and that's why we have each other.
Yeah. And that, wellness is a spectrum. It's not just, mentally too, we're not, it's all connected. There's, it's all connected.
Yeah. I was going to share too. I bought this after we did coaching. Let's see if you can see it. Growth mindset, just because I need the reminder. Because before
Alex, I love that. You've got to send that to me.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, in coaching, we talk a lot about fixed mindset versus this pretty one over here, which is, what does it say? Flexible mindset or growth mindset. Yeah, and that was one of the biggest changes for me in coaching was I think because I put pressure on myself to have it all together, to be perfect in some way, to like feel like everything's going well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that got me in this mindset of like failure was so big, like, oh, I can't do it. I must not be able to do it. I'm not good enough, things like that. And so shifting our mindset through coaching of like challenges help me grow, and saying those things to yourself in moments where you're learning something new. I'll give my best effort. What can I learn from them? Someone else who might be, challenging you or correcting you or just next to you doing their job. And you're like, what can I learn from them today?
Yeah.
Um, So that's been the most impactful thing in my life that I didn't know I was struggling with until I had someone here in the coaching container to be like, what if you think about it this way?
What if
And
you put these glasses on? No, I like my dark victim glasses
yeah,
where I'm the
yeah,
center of everything. And
yeah, it's all on me, or like,
yeah.
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 So that was powerful.
Isn't it amazing how just shifting our mindset, and it is all connected, but shifting our mindset, we start to set goals differently. We start to show up differently for ourselves. But it begins with investing in that, um, and not continuing to invest in things that don't serve us. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And Cindy said hi. Hello, Cindy.
hey, Cindy. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just good. There's like, you never know where the coaching call is going to take you, and you never know where you'll end up, and that's the beauty of it. So
It is because the client is the one that knows how to heal themselves.
yeah.
I'm not the expert, right? And you're not the expert.
Mm-hmm.
And in that space, we get to start to not, you know, expect we know something and have an agenda, but just to see what God does. And it just happens, and you see people pivot. And um, I have patients. I do that. I have friends and clients that come thinking that it's I want to lose weight, or I want to get my blood pressure down or my blood sugar down. And then, come to find out, in usually less than a month, you realize that it's really all connected, and that
Mm-hmm.
there are other things that just shifting their mind gets them over that wall and through a rut almost.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all, I love what you said. It's all connected. And I think typically at the doctor's office, it's like, we're just going to look at your leg. We're just going to look at, your blood sugar number. Um, but in health coaching, we get to talk about even financial well-being, relationships, like how many people are checking on each other to see like, hey, how are your relationships going? Like, do you have people that you can talk to? And if not, like, let's work on it so that you can have joy in that way in your life. And um, so many other areas that are included in that, but it's just really good.
um, within the container too, as nurses, and with your experience, you have collected these tools that we can offer clients. And do you have favorite ones, Alex?
Hmm. I would say reflecting, which has been powerful to me when someone reflects back what I'm saying, because then you hear it coming from someone else's mouth, and it just opens your eyes a bit more to, it's like, oh yeah, like I do, like that is what I'm feeling or thinking. And so reflecting back what someone is telling you is a really beneficial tool. Um, I would say also asking permission. So that's pretty rare. I think it makes it a safe space in the coaching container. and it's something I have to work on because I'm a fixer. So I want to come in and help and make changes for people, which I can't do. Like we said, they have to do that themselves. But to ask permission when they seem ready of, hey, like, is it okay if I share with you more about, I'm not sure, like mental health resources or, nutrition information, whatever it is that they're working toward, if I think it will be of value to them and help them
Mhm.
achieve their goals, not my goals,
Mhm.
I ask. And I think that's really powerful because it also gives us permission in our day-to-day life to say, no, I'm okay. Like not quite there yet. I'm not really wanting to talk about that, but thank you.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
know,
Yeah, and I have a group of friends that for years we ran together, and I was the gung ho, let's do it, but I could, we all went at different paces,
yeah.
I was the slow one.
Are you?
I continue to be.
Oh, I would
Terry
have loved.
walks faster than she runs.
Oh my gosh. You should just power walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just all do. Yeah, we're all at different stages, and it's a beautiful dance to get to all, learn to be more emotionally regulated and dance the dance and still love each other and care for each other. And
Yeah.
everybody's doing the best they can with what they have. I really believe that.
Yes. Amen to that.
They're trying.
Big. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't want to go too far. Wanted to look at the time. We were talking a little, I wanted to address a little bit the why, with burnout, one of those things, it wasn't the healthcare system that burnt me out. Really, I made all those choices, right? You hear people saying, oh, the system burnt me out. Well, I allowed the system, I just stayed on the treadmill, and not just healthcare, it's just our cultural system. Nobody wants to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
um, I remember being in a functional medicine physician doctor when I was ill, and she was trying to just get an assessment from me, and my phone was ringing and I was answering things, and that was my day. I was like, and I know looking back, she was like, is it always like that for you? I mean, she just saw me in sympathetic charge in real time, right? Just not putting my foot on the brake. And boy, starting to recognize that and observe yourself, making that pivot, that becomes pretty powerful for people.
And she said that to you when you were there. She said, is it always like this for you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, and I don't remember a lot about that visit. I remember that I was feeling bad, feeling sick. I wanted to figure out what was going on with me, and it's our clients.
Yeah.
That what was going on with me. And there were a lot of physical things that were going on with me that we could chase. But ultimately, what was going on with me was I wasn't pausing and realigning and setting boundaries. And, my mindset was one of a victim, just working and willing myself through.
It sounds like that was just a moment where you're like, oh, it sounds like it was the moment where you realized that you were really busy.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't want that. Yeah.
Very busy and not pausing. But once you learn to take a pause, I started to see all these tools that, I didn't need alcohol or the SSRI to, dull me. And I'm not saying things bad about those things, but for me, they weren't tools that were, they just changed my brain. And
there was something else going on that
yeah.
you could address.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our culture definitely struggles with rest. And I think part of that, especially with nurses, is and healthcare workers, doctors, we get praised for how much we do. We get praised for helping people and putting our own needs aside. That's, sometimes that's a characteristic trait of someone who wants to go into nursing.
Right.
And so I think in our culture in general, we need to start praising people for resting, for slowing down, for
Amen.
saying no, because
Yeah.
that's really, I think that's really why people are ignoring their own signs is because we want acknowledgement and recognition for doing a good job. And
Oh, and I was piling those things up in my victim head, and yeah. And it wasn't all, evil. I'm just saying that the contrast is so great when it's light that see.
yeah, what do you mean when it's light that you see? Can you explain more?
Yeah, when you're just not playing the victim role and how that's associated with health. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think rest is a big thing. And I've learned a lot about it in the past, I'd say 3 years. But I think that's a big part of our health in general, too, and our health outcomes.
Pretty amazing when my blood pressure, I could never, manage my blood pressure even with medicines. I was, medicinally resistant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And yeah.
Wow. So you kind of had to turn.
So turning off was, I was just burned out and learning to take things off my plate. That's been hard for me because I was addicted to busy.
Yeah. And you're not alone in that. I was as well. So I think many people are addicted to the busyness because it is our culture right now in a lot of places.
But my body was suffering, I think even, yeah, my cancer could have have been prevented perhaps if I had been living a little healthier the decade prior.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, did you want to share at all how rest looks for you now or what you do to rest?
Yeah. And I've shared a little with you, Alex, about I pause meditating. That really started about 5 years ago, just as I was trying to figure out what would work, and went and was certified with a friend, and that's been helpful. And I'd always prayed, but praying is using my mind too. And God has just really taught me that pausing with complete stillness, not with I'm gonna, really concentrating on the breath work and learning about that and incorporating that then eventually with meditation, along with cold and sauna. My blood pressure's finally good.
That's so cool. I don't think
Sugars again are good. It's yeah.
wow.
Watch out, I'm getting younger.
You are. I see that and I witness that. It's so cool. And what a cool testimony of like how those things can heal. And the other part of nurse coaching is those things aren't always talked about. In my experience in an office, doctor's office. And so it's just cool to explore other tools. That's one thing about nurse coaching that I would say to someone who's considering it is it's a way to get more tools in your tool basket so that when you get a cold, when you find that you're struggling with mental health, it's like, okay, like I've practiced these things, I've got these tools I can use. I don't just have to go rely on waiting for a doctor visit and this one person who's going to give me their advice. I have the power in myself at the local like health food store or whatever it is. Like we have the access to care for ourselves in our home.
Oh, I love that. We can provide scaffolding for ourselves. And that's another great thing about the nurse coach container or client nurse coach container is coming up with those kind of plans when we know there are barriers, to our promoting self-wellness and reaching those goals. whatever they may be. Having somebody else explore those barriers that way is effective.
Yeah, it's empowering. I think, we want a balance of power between ourselves and the medical system. And I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but I think sometimes we give it all. We give the doctors in the hospital all of
The responsibility.
the responsibility and the answers. And we've learned
How do I fix this diabetes that I just got because my family had it? I mean, just simply educating about cause, right? And nurses can help that way.
Yeah, it's really fun. I love it. And I want to empower people with more tools to help with that.
So I would say that coaching is just one of those tools, wouldn't you, Alex?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be the answer.
Yeah, I think it's a nurse coach sort of, or wellness coach as a contractor of sorts, I know with Rest and Resilience, the signature program that I've established that kind of begins with rest and that reset. I am of the mindset that the mindset has to change, because we have to let go of old beliefs, whether that's, I don't have agency over some changes I could make in my body, things like that, and my mind and my spirit. Is there some unforgiveness that I'm holding on to that's keeping me in this space? It's not just physical.
Mm-hmm.
That people, struggle. Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes you have all the tools you need, and, some families pass down holistic remedies, they pass down knowledge. People are more equipped to face the challenges that come up. And then other times, we just aren't, it's not around us. We don't have that in our friend group. We weren't around it when we grew up. And so we just need some extra support in that area. So,
yeah, and that makes me think that things happen in the right time, right? It's like even self-forgiveness, promoting your own wellness. Because tomorrow's a new day, and we get agency, over it. We get to wake up and go after it.
Yeah.
Is there, as a nurse coach, something that, just looking again at the time, before we close, we have about 10 minutes, Alex. Yeah. Is there something that you thought we might be able to explore in this container together tonight that we haven't, or want to address it if you do have something in mind?
Yeah. Well, I've loved coaching with you, Terry, and I think I just have appreciated you creating safe space for me to process and go through my health journey. And I've learned so much from you, and we've been able to safely learn together while we were in the program. And I couldn't be more grateful for what God has done through you in my life, the encouragement you've provided. Yeah.
I love you, Alex.
I love you too.
So yeah.
It's just meant so much. And I don't think until you experience coaching that you can really explain the transformation that it can bring, and the healing in a lot of ways, just being heard and having someone there that cares about you. So and the training that we get allows that to be kind of a safe space where we also get to help move forward. So it's just a really beautiful thing. And then the second thing I felt like I wanted to share was, for me, I tried for so long to fix myself and to, eat the right foods and do the exercise and whatever,
all the things.
all the things that whatever the fad was, that's new, Like right now it's like putting all my hope in this water. You put chia seeds in it, you put some lemon juice and some salt, and it's like this rehydration like
Oh,
wonder.
how fun. Send me that later.
Yeah. And I'm like, this will fix all my problems.
I just need the water bottle that's hydrogenated.
Yeah. And I think we can put our
Maybe a
hope.
Toro, we never know.
Yeah. I put all my hope in these things, and it's a very tiring process of hoping, that this one thing will help heal me and I won't feel bad again. But I kind of came to this place through a church group that I was a part of. Really, a leader asked me, what does it look like to fully submit your health to God? And I was like, I don't want to do that because I'm doing a good job. It's not working, but I know that like it's in my control, and I know what's best. So anyway, I took time to pray anyway because I agreed that that was a good thing to do. I didn't know what it looked like, but I wanted to let God into it. And he just revealed, so much. He revealed the answer to my healing, I believe, which is really not taking full on responsibility that all my health things are my fault, which has created this relentless pursuit to fix it because it is my fault. And he just took that weight off, and he's like, you don't have that much control. You never have.
Oh, and you're so young to be learning that. Like, God bless you. That's why you've helped me so much. I feel like I'm still learning that, Alex.
Yeah, and I think we all have our own like root, like, and that was my root, and that was very specific to my childhood and my who I am as a person. And so I think we all struggle with it, but I just encourage people to take the time to dig deeper and trust your higher. If you have a higher power, if you want to have a higher power, trust that it'll be revealed, and that it doesn't have to be a relentless pursuit, but a restful pursuit of your health.
I really love that restful pursuit as opposed to relentless, because that's where I was. Did I show you my before and after picture? I'll have to do that sometime, Alex.
No.
Yeah, I'll have to post that to everybody soon. It's crazy. I lost my driver's license, then I found it 4 years later, and I looked in my face, and it was, just as we were moving down here. So just over 4 years ago, I mean, the transformation, I was like, she looks so angry and sad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. And you can just see that from your face in the picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you are where you are.
I'm so grateful for you. I'm thankful for tools we have. I'm thankful for each other. I'm thankful for our sovereign God. I'm thankful for this time. I really appreciate you, Alex, and thank you for being on Give and Take Care and teaching me things.
Thank you for having me. And it's fun to get to talk about health coaching and just our time together and how special it's been. I hope it encourages people who are listening in some way, hits the right ears, and feel free to reach out to Terry or I if you have any like questions or thoughts. We'd love to hear it.
I would love to hear how we can support you anyway. And you're an hour behind me. Like, yeah. Okay, must be getting close to 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, close to 7, 6:52.
Yeah. On Central Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
So is it hot in Texas?
Yeah. It's been, with humidity, it's above 100 right now.
My friend Cindy, I was talking to her today. Yeah. Shout out to Cindy. She probably she might have.
It might be the same one
now, but yeah. She said it was really hot. Texan hot.
Yeah, we just kind of get used to it. You do things in the morning outside, and then you kind of shelter inside or go shopping the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. Thank you all that showed up and hung out here with us. We appreciate it.